So let's look down this list of words. I've got forgive, wooden, seat, sand, warm, coast, hands, looking, wait, and spray. And it's pretty neat. I'll be near the ocean in a week. So this is kind of, I should be able to think of some good words to go with this list. Out of hand, I'm going to cross forgive off the list because I wrote so much about forgiveness in my song The Dragon, which I've written recently, so unless something comes up, I'm not going to use that. I am going to go through this list and pick, what I do with these, I don't necessarily pick the 5 words I'm going to use, I kind of start just brainstorming from them, and I'm going to do that on paper. And so obviously I'm thinking something coastal. It's probably not going to be all that warm where I'm going. Might be a bit warm. Like spray. There's also no sand on the beaches where I'm going, but coast, of course, could also be a verb as well as a noun. Same with hands. If I was a surfer, I would probably write a poem about waiting for the perfect wave from this list of words. But I am not a surfer. I do like when I am on a sandy beach to, I guess, go out and wait for a big perfect wave to hit me, and I have many photographs of me doing just this. One at a beach in Nova Scotia, which has beautiful sandy beaches, and another in the Dominican Republic, which I don't need to tell you has beautiful sandy beaches. So maybe that's what this song will be about. And it'll be short. I'm going to do this sort of like I did my my shoe shopping thing, in which this will be a little poem, I think. Maybe not. We'll see what happens when I actually start putting the words together. Because I don't want it to be like that song either. But it's sort of like I want to use these words to capture a feeling rather than tell a story. Which is also a really good exercise for me because a lot of my songs tell stories, so it's good for me to try and write a different type of song. So I've made a little text file called Beach. That won't be the name of my song, I don't think, but that's what came to mind from this list of words. That's what I named the file. So I have my paper here for jotting things down, but mostly we're going to work on this text file so you can see what's going through my brain. What are the things that I'm thinking about? So I like this idea of wait. So I'm like, wait. I've got like waiting, wave. Sand. Yeah, I will use sand. So I grew up where beaches are rocky death traps, and so when I've traveled to places where beaches are sandy and beautiful, I'm always kind of totally amazed. So you see me traveling backwards in time to imagine the beaches that I've sat on. So we've got like horizons. We've got ships in the distance. I remember when I lived in Australia for a short period of time, and I remember on their totally inexplicably beautiful beaches that in the distance you'd see like massive amounts of shipping containers traversing the Pacific. And I always kind of liked that image because it's so weird to be on this, you're sort of out in nature, and yet this like very, very solidly human reminder is out there on the horizon. They kind of look like Legos, but that's probably not something I want to talk about. There's always like impressions, sand, lino cuts, and seaweed. Oh, wraps was a word I needed the other day. Let's see. I want to put the word primal down, but I've already used that in a word about the sea, in a song about the sea recently, so I won't put that there. So I'm also going to put the words that I think I'm going to be using, which is like, maybe seat. Oh, wooden. I'm thinking of like driftwood. Oh, and drifting in general. These are also all words I've used recently in songs. Spray for sure. And then think of like wooden ships. Now the first one of these challenges I did, I've been reading Herodotus and all my songs were about war. So I'm like not going to write about naval battles with this list of words, but that's something I would do. I like my poem idea better. There's a nice Of course, if you're on a nice beach, it's unlikely that you're actually going to be alone. If you're on Death Trap Beach, you have a chance of being alone, but on nice sandy beach, there's probably going to be a bunch of other people there. And in my brain right now, I'm kind of going back and forth between, is this about walking on the beach, or is this about, I think once I started thinking of driftwood, I started thinking about walking on Death Trap Beach, but it's like, oh no, I kind of wanted to talk about actually swimming in the water, nice beach, so I mean, they're both nice beaches, they're just nice in different ways. And like with impressions, there's also depressions in the sand. I think of like a depression filling with water. Huh. No, I think I write a lot of songs about water. Or I'm starting to write a lot of songs about water. Maybe it's because I've been on so many beaches recently, like in the last 2 years. I think I need to stop. This is my little brain dump, and I think I need to start putting a few words together to get a couple actual lines, or like one line, and that should help me come up with a few more lyrics, which is sort of the way you want to do things when you're working, doing sort of a creativity exercise like this and working with a song prompt. So the ideas I really like are, I kind of want to work something with like the container ships on the horizon, and the idea of getting like totally hit by the wave and covered in seaweed, and that makes you feel like a mythological creature. So then you think of like sirens. There's other mythological creatures, but that's the one that comes to mind for me when I think of being wrapped in seaweed and all my hair. Note to self, do not make this a song about a sea monster. Okay, pretty poems about feelings. That's what I was, about sensations, not feelings. So I should maybe spend a bit of, now that I'm like, I want to write about the sensation, let's try and brainstorm a few words about that. So, salt, there's blue, there's platinum, and there's slime. What's a word for traveling all through your body all at once? I need, like, not a ripple, an avalanche, a blanket, maybe erupt, and like peak and decline. Maybe like acceptance, once you're used to something. Well, I'll get things out and then I can tweak things after. Oh, what are the small waves? Oh, and also I want to make sure, I've almost left my original, so I've got sand. Oh, maybe unseat. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. What about put in bobbing, shaped. let's get maybe I can be bobbing like the wooden treasures. What's it when you let your guard down for a second? I guess that's like a momentary lapse. There, that might be my last verse. So I'm going to have my gentle first verse about going into the water and waiting to, do this sort of body surfing thing and how pleasant that is. And then, of course, you're not prepared for a big wave that hits you in the face and slams you into the bottom, which is what happens to me. And that's why I don't surf. I always end up with seaweed in my hair. What have I got from my word list so far? I've got spray. I wanted to use something with, I've got looking. I wanted to use something with coast, but that's maybe not even going to show up. And that's the other thing about these word lists. You might not end up using the words, but they'll still give you an idea for a song. So, Nothing wrong with that. So what have I got? I've got spray and looking. And wooden. So I really only need 2 more. And I was thinking maybe sand. Well, maybe seat I could have like unseated. Or maybe I can get warm in sun. I like the, I'm one of those people that just walks in, because I like the abrupt extreme temperature change. So I want to try and get that, like, you'll be very warm and then it's very cold, but the shock is really pleasant. Pleasant shock, I guess. Shocking pleasure. Big spray hits when I'm not looking. We get the momentary lapse. There should be, I wonder if there's a direct verb for taking advantage. Yes. I'll think on that. Try and find it before I write the music on my other episode. Oh, right. I'm going to say something about dislodging the sand. Let's say something about habitations. Scoops. I'm going to think about that. Something about that change. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have. Something about the entrance. I bet there's a word for the smaller waves. I'm going to look that up. I'm not going to look it up this second, but I will look that up before I write the music. I'm just going to write by the waves for now. I want to, when you're being slammed around by the waves and you have hair as long as I have, a whole bunch of stuff gets caught in it and it wraps around your head. And it's probably actually kind of dangerous. And I'm trying to get that into this line. Oh, and I guess I'm going to write used and exhausted. You see what I'm doing with these lyrics, don't you? In my entrance. Here's where I can mention snails and clams. Something about gripping. Back to let's go. Move this up so you can see it. I'm going to put a little note for myself there. I don't need sand again. Maybe I'll dislodge snails there. So I kind of want that idea of when you're slammed in and then you get thrown down and then scraped across the bottom and then up. Oh, so you're kind of like a trawler. Yeah, there's my drag. Maybe I'll go with slams down. Maybe just slams. To drag upon the bottom. Netting catches seaweed. I need something about salt. How do you spell choke? Maybe. I'll look up how you spell choke. Trying to show you where I am as I'm sitting here reading this to myself. I'm choking on the salt. I think I need like sputtering. Maybe. Spitting liquid. Well, we'll see. Once I start adding music, there might be a few, like, I might need to fit a few different words. I might need to change a few things. But I think I'm pretty happy with this. The only thing I'm going to do is look up those two notes I have to see if I can figure out a single verb for taking advantage. And if there's I'm going to think a little bit about the entering the sea. And that going from one state to another quickly to see if there's a slightly better way to say that. But there you go. That's been 45 minutes, and I've had this prompt with this list of words, and here's the lyrics that I'm going to work with this afternoon. So thank you very much. I have been Kyla Tilley. I'm a singer-songwriter, and this is my weekly program where I do different things, but I often write songs.